Today is the last day in February and the final edition of our series Black History Month Around the Culture. Each week, our Jeterica Wilson has highlighted Black living legends in Jonesboro and their impact on the community. Tonight, we wrap up our series with a closer look at a local African American cultural center.
This is my heritage. And I wake up every time I come here to the museum. I'm happy to showcase my history. You can ask anyone. They want a tour. I don't care whether it's 12 o'clock at night. I'm getting up, coming out, giving them a tour because I think it's that important for them to know our history. And I always say if you're going to live in Jonesboro, you need to learn some of the history of Jonesboro.
The Craighead County Jonesboro African American Cultural Center Museum was founded in 1989 by three African American women in Jonesboro, Robbie Lau, Carolyn Shepard, and Harriet Hyatt. But as years went on, one of the ladies decided to hand the museum over to Roger McKinney, who displays a great deal of passion for our history.
Mrs. Lau, she was the director over the museum up until 2010. And she retired and she moved to Omaha, Nebraska. So when she moved, she asked me to take over the museum since I was running the building anyway, and I knew the history inside the museum, so she asked me if I would take over, in which I did.
The museum is located inside of the E. Boone Watson Community Center and is filled with photos of segregated schools, older African American churches here in Jonesboro, obituaries of past residents, and antique items with a story behind each one. Mr. Roger isn't just known for giving tours of the museum. He recalls a time in the 90s when he would see a lot of African American children in Jonesboro being raised by only their mothers. That is when he collaborated with a few churches and founded Fellowship through activities in 1993.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, we were bringing all the kids out of the neighborhood and bringing positive role models, especially to speak to the young men because they didn't have that type of leadership and guidance at home. But we also had a stage at the old center, so we were able to have talent shows so the kids could showcase their talents.
And now it is time for Mr. Roger McKinney's fun fact on this Friday.
When I have visitors touring the museum, and I get over and start talking about the outside basketball court, and then I tell them that underneath that court, there's a swimming pool, and that was an African-American swimming pool. And they can't believe that underneath there's a swimming pool that's still there.
Well, this has been a series of BHM Around the Culture. Thank you so much for tuning in every Friday, and happy Black History Month. Jeterica Wilson, Northeast Arkansas News, Jonesboro.